On Friday, November 5, 2021, 37-year-old Timothy Adegoke left his residence in Abuja to sit for his final master's degree examination at the Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Osun State, Nigeria. Adegoke flew from Abuja to Akure in Ondo State, which was a neighboring state to Osun, his target location. His plane landed in Akure at 3 p.m. He then proceeded to Ile-Ife by road, arriving in the town at about 4:45 p.m. Since he didn't have any relatives around the school area, Adegoke decided to lodge in a hotel in close proximity to the school. He booked a deluxe suite at the rate of 18,500 naira per night and for 2 nights. For the payment, he transferred the sum of 37,000 naira to the personal account of the hotel's receptionist, identified as Adeshola. After unpacking and finally settling in, Adegoke called his wife, Bolatito Adegoke, to inform her that he had arrived and also checked into a hotel. Unfortunately for him, he forgot to disclose the name of the hotel to her. Adegoke also transferred some money to his wife for the family's upkeep while he was away. He proceeded to inform her that he wanted to take a nap before he began studying for his exams. In order not to disturb him, since she believed that Adegoke was either sleeping or studying for his final exams, Bolatito decided not to call him until the morning of the next day, being Saturday. On that Saturday morning, Bolatito called her husband to check up on him, but to her greatest surprise, the phone kept ringing without an answer. Bolatito assumed he had already left for the examination hall, so she stopped calling that morning. She tried to reach him again in the afternoon with the hope that he would be out of the examination hall by then, but disappointingly, the phone kept ringing without anyone to answer. This was when she began worrying because it was unusual for Adegoke to walk into the examination hall without calling her first. The more she called without a response, the more intense her worry became. Bolatito decided to call their relatives in Ondo State to inform them that she hadn't been able to speak with her husband since morning. One of the relatives then called his friend's wife, who was staying in Ile-Ife, the same community where Adegoke had gone for his final exams, to help them go to the examination hall the next day, being Sunday, to check for Adegoke. On that Sunday, the friend's wife, along with Adegoke's cousin, visited the examination center at the OAU Center for Distance Learning, Moro campus, around 10 a.m. to check if he was in the exam hall. When they got there, they met the exams hall coordinator, who assisted them by going through the attendance sheets for both Saturday and Sunday. They were shocked to find out that Adegoke had been absent from the exam hall on both days. The coordinator then advised them to check all the hotels in the Moro community, which they did, but they still couldn't find him. The dean of Adegoke's faculty reached out to the chairman of the Hoteliers Association in Ile-Ife to ask if any of their members had anyone by the name Timothy Adegoke as a guest in their hotel. Sadly, they got the same response as before. No hotel in the area had any record of a guest who went by that name. Feeling like they've met a dead end, the concerned relatives, along with some staff members of OAU, decided to report the sudden disappearance of Timothy Adegoke to the police that same Sunday. Still worrying about her missing husband, Bolatito called her husband's personal assistant to ask if he had any information that could help them locate his boss. That was when the PA made a short revelation that would go on to change the fate of the entire case. The PA revealed that he had called his boss's number on Sunday night, but instead of Adegoke, it was a strange person who answered the phone. He said when he asked why he was in possession of his boss's phone, the strange fellow replied that he found the phone in an area called Ejigbo. Hearing this, Adegoke's phone was called immediately, and just as expected, the strange fellow answered the phone, saying hello, and then terminated the call abruptly before proceeding to switch off the phone. The family went to the police station the next day, being Monday, to write a statement. They were asked the name of the hotel where Adegoke stayed, but they had no idea. They reached out to Bolatito, but unfortunately, she didn't know the name of the hotel either. The police tracked Adegoke's phone, and it revealed the location to be Ejigbo, an area in the same Osun state. The police then asked them if they could provide Adegoke's email address and password for further tracking. They were able to provide his email address, but they didn't know his password. On the next day, Bolatito was searching the house and her husband's item when she stumbled upon a payment receipt that served as a major breakthrough in the case. Bolatito found a payment receipt for a hotel called Hilton Hotel, Ile-Ife, in one of the pockets of her husband's trousers. She snapped the receipt and then sent it to the police. With this information, the police, along with Adegoke's elder brother, visited the Hilton Hotel to ask about Adegoke. Surprisingly, the hotel staff denied having any guests by that name. They went through their records for all guests who arrived since Friday, but Adegoke's name was not found anywhere on the list. The police left the hotel without making any arrests that Tuesday. The police demanded that the family should get Adegoke's bank statement so that they could trace the accounts he sent money to that Friday. The account statement was made available 2 days later, and it revealed that he had sent money to only 2 people that Friday. Recall that Adegoke arrived in Ile-Ife around 4:45 p.m. His bank statement showed that he made a transaction at 5 p.m. when he arrived at the hotel. The first transfer was the sum of 37,000 naira to an account with the name Adedeji Adeshola Tobilola. The second transaction was to his wife, which was for the family's upkeep while he was away. The police tracked the phone number linked to the bank account of Adedeji Adeshola, and it led them back to the Hilton Hotel. With this discovery, the police returned to the hotel and then asked them to parade all their staff before them. They asked who among them went by the name Adedeji Adeshola Tobilola, and a female receptionist signified by raising her finger. This was when things began to get really interesting. When asked why Adegoke would transfer 37,000 naira into her account when they claimed he never lodged in their hotel, Adeshola responded that Adegoke came to the hotel on Friday and that he only transferred the said amount into her personal account and then hurriedly left the hotel without ever returning again. She disclosed that she never reported the matter to the hotel management, but rather she shared the money with the hotel manager. The manager was said to have denied the allegations of partaking in the illicit deal. Adeshola also revealed that she lodged Adegoke in room 305. When the family and police checked the room, they found bloodstains and also noticed that the mattress and curtains of that particular room had been changed, since they were different from the ones found in all other rooms of the same category. The police arrested all the staff involved and took them into custody for further interrogation and investigation. Timothy Adegoke was born in Oyo State but resided in Abuja, where he worked as the director of finance for a Chinese company. He was the breadwinner of his family. Adegoke got married to Bolatito, and the two had 3 children between them. Before his sudden disappearance, Adegoke was doing his master's degree in accounting at the Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife. He was described by family and friends as a quiet and easygoing person. Adegoke was a man with big dreams, not just for himself, but for his family and community. He had planned to bring his younger sister to Abuja and help her secure a job. He also wanted to send his twin children abroad for their education. As the backbone of his family, he sent money to his parents every month to support them in their farming. He had already built them a house and made sure they had everything they needed to live comfortably. Beyond his immediate family, Adegoke had ambitions to establish a company in his hometown within the next 2 years, hoping to create job opportunities for others. He was a man full of plans, but the tragedy that awaited him would ensure he never got the chance to see them through. Adeshola's confession to the police led to the identification of the 6 key suspects in the sudden disappearance of Timothy Adegoke. Among them were Mr. Ramon Adedoyin, who was the founder and owner of the hotel, his son Rahim Adedoyin, who served as the managing director of the hotel, Adeniyi Aderogba, who was the hotel manager, Oyetunde Kazeem, and 2 other members of staff. While the police were able to arrest everyone else, they couldn't catch Rahim Adedoyin, as he got information about the case and went into hiding. The CCTV cameras at the hotel were found to have been disconnected. However, recovered footage will later reveal what happened in room 305 that Friday night. When the police finally got hold of the security footage for that night, it was found that around 12 midnight on that Friday, Mr. Adedoyin, the hotel owner, his personal assistant, and his son Rahim entered Adegoke's room. However, after some minutes, they were seen coming out of the room carrying Adegoke's body wrapped with the hotel's duvet and tightened with a rope. They put the body inside a big carton and tightened it again with a rope. The 3 then placed the carton in the trunk of a Hilux truck and drove out of the hotel premises. Adeshola disclosed that after Adegoke's death, she was called by Rahim Adedoyin, the managing director of the hotel, to come to his father's compound, where he made her fabricate a new payment receipt with a fake name that would replace that of Adegoke. It was also disclosed that the management of the hotel ordered all staff members to delete all pictures taken on their phones after Adegoke's body was found. It was also revealed that all staff members were made to swear an oath not to disclose what happened regarding Adegoke's death. On Monday, 15th November 2021, which was 10 days after Adegoke's sudden disappearance, one of the hotel staff led the police and 4 family members to where Adegoke was buried in Ile-Ife. When the police exhumed the body, it was discovered that the corpse had been wrapped with a duvet bearing the hotel's name and then packed in a carton. They also noticed that his throat was slit and his clothes soaked with blood. There were a lot of speculations that Adegoke was killed for money ritual. However, an autopsy would later reveal that none of his organs were missing and that the cause of death was severe bleeding due to traumatic injury. In May 2022, the trial for the murder of Timothy Adegoke began at the Osun State High Court. During the trial, the hotel manager, Adeniyi Aderogba, disclosed that it was the managing director, Rahim Adedoyin, who disconnected the CCTV camera in the hotel after Adegoke's body was found. He also told the court that Rahim informed him that he had reported Adegoke's death to the police and that the police instructed them to take the body to the mortuary. He also disclosed that it was he, Rahim, and Oyetunde who carried the body from the room into the Hilux vehicle and that it was Rahim who drove them to where it was dumped, along with his laptop, mobile phone, and bag. Under cross-examination, Aderogba denied seeing blood coming out of Adegoke's nose when he visited room 305. Meanwhile, in his statement to the police, he wrote that he found him with blood coming out of his nose. Now, the most concerning part of this case was how they gained entry into the room using the spare key, since it was locked from inside. When asked in court, Aderogba denied any knowledge of how that was possible. He also stated again under cross-examination that they removed the mattress from Adegoke's room so that they could dry it. However, his attention was drawn to his police statement where he wrote that they took out the mattress and then burned it. In May 2023, the hotel owner Dr. Ramon Adedoyin, the hotel manager Mr. Adeniyi Aderogba, and Mr. Oyetunde Kazeem were all sentenced to death by hanging for their roles in the murder of Timothy Adegoke. The court also ruled that all 3 of them would be responsible for training Adegoke's 3 children up to the university level. Adedeji Adeshola, the hotel receptionist, was sentenced to 2 years imprisonment, while 3 other members of staff were set free. Rahim Adedoyin, who was the managing director and also son of the hotel owner, remained on the run and is yet to be convicted till date. Dr. Ramon Adedoyin appealed his death sentence, but his appeal was rejected in January 2025, meaning that he will serve his death sentence unless he goes to the Supreme Court and wins. It is still not clear why they murdered Timothy Adegoke, since they consistently denied all allegations of ritual killing. The autopsy also ruled out the possibility of it being a ritual killing, since all organs were still intact. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more true crime stories. Thank you for watching and stay safe.